Well, to this now, the National Union of Mineworkers kicks off its three-day national policy conference taking place at Birchwood Hotel and Conference Centre in Ekurhuleni. The NUM National Policy Conference is organised under the theme 41 Years of Unbroken Revolutionary Struggle for Workers. A range of organisational policy-related issues within the union are expected to come under the spotlight, with the conference coming at the back of the dismissal of more than 200 Sibanye-Stillwater miners who embarked on a sit-in at one of the mine's Rustenburg shafts. SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi joins us again from the conference. Katlego, earlier on, of course, you spoke about just what we can expect during this conference. It is very clear, that over the past decade, the mining industry has really had its fair share of, issues over the past decade. How are, the members addressing some of those pertinent issues, particularly as we look at those that have been retrenched in the mining sector?
A very good afternoon to you once again, Unati, and to our viewers at home. Well, the line wasn't that clear, but I'm going to just jump on it this afternoon, coming to you live from the Birchwood Hotel in Boksburg. This is where we are seeing some of those issues that you touched on there a bit, on issues of retrenchments, job security, expected to come under the spotlight. So this is a policy conference being held every 2 years by this union that is organizing in the mining sector, construction, in the steel sector, in the energy space, and all of those issues from these sectors are going to come under the spotlight in the coming 3 days. I have in my hand here a secretariat report here with us, Unati. It's a thick one, and most of those delegates here will be going through this report in taking stock of where really matters are, as this union here will be marking this particular conference under the theme of 41 years of championing the workers' struggles. They've been organizing for 41 years, and we know very well that the NUM is organized under COSATU as the mother body. COSATU being the federation, they are also here. They're going to be giving messages of support alongside the SACP and, of course, members of the alliance partners. I'm going to bring into the conversation now the Deputy President of COSATU, Mr. Mike Shingange, who will just join us to give us a sense of really where we find ourselves here. We see the NUM saying 41 years later, it is fit to take stock in terms of the workers' struggles, but also this coming through at a time when we are seeing the country mark 30 years into democracy. We come out of very crucial elections here, and the workers are also taking stock in terms of what the elections then would mean for them going forward. Welcome to the SABC. Give us a sense of the importance of finding ourselves here, and let's reflect on those struggles that workers have been faced with over time.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having us. Indeed, for us as a federation, this policy conference came at an opportune time. Of course, it was scheduled to have taken place as is customary in terms of the policy of the NUM. However, because it's a policy conference, it's still taking stock about the advances we've made on the policy space over the past 41 years of the existence of the NUM, but also the 30 years of the freedom and democracy in this country. But again, that we find ourselves almost at the quagmire post the elections. It comes at an opportune time when the NUM and the delegates are going to be reflecting on what are those policies that they need more protection, they need more defense, since we know that many of them, particularly those who are protective of workers, have always been under siege, they've always been threatened of being reversed. The workers have fought and defended over a long time. Now it's going to be very interesting, the unity of workers going forward to even more resilient to defend their rights going forward. They are changing circumstances in the industry, in the construction and in the mining sector, where in the mechanization is taking place at an alarming rate. There's a lot of Section 189 where workers are being retrenched on a daily basis. I think this policy conference is going to also to reflect on that. How then the workers protect themselves from such an onslaught from the bosses? Seeing that the mining sector is one of the backbone of the economy of the country. How do we protect it from shedding even more jobs and therefore growing the band of unemployment in this country?
Mr. Shingage, I'm going to let you go because we're about to start. But before we do that, I'm going to bring the SACP. They are with us now in the conversation as well, one of the alliance partners to COSATU. And we're just here to reflect on where we find ourselves in Tatema Paida. I mean, coming off the back of very crucial elections, the ANC did not get that outright majority. There have been concerns also from the Labour space on what this then means for them going forward. Let's reflect on just at the back of the elections, where we find ourselves now. The government of national unity, the ANC did not get the outright majority.
Yes, but the ANC remains the majority party. Therefore, it can set up a minority government as soon as it's possible. I don't understand all this entanglement that the ANC wants to find itself in. There's no other party that can set up government without the ANC. So the ANC must just take responsibility, set up government, and insist on the implementation of its own ideas, which have been overwhelmingly voted for by the people. And therefore, we need to move in that particular direction, reject the DA as a possible coalition, which complicates these current discussions. The DA and its backers were responsible for the poor performance of the ANC, by the way, and it should not neglect that. And equally, the DA and its backers are responsible for poverty and inequality in this country. So it must just take up responsibility and set up government.
What would make you comfortable if you're saying that the DA is not one to go with where this government of national unity is concerned? As an alliance partner, have you been talking to the ANC? What would make you comfortable going forward?
No, of course, we've been having engagements. Our approach is that the ANC must set up a minority government. It can have a so-called aspect or features of government of national unity. But it shouldn't overdo itself into that particular direction. It must just set up a minority government, does not have to work with reactionary teams, the DA as one of them. The second one is this counter-revolutionary force of Jacob Zuma. They should not work with it as well. But they have the capacity to set up government and lead society and implement their own decisions.
We see all of these court, challenges coming through, even in the lead up to the constitution of the parliament, the first sitting of parliament. Give us your reaction of where we find ourselves, especially where the MK party is concerned. I hear you saying that the reason why the ANC lost a sizable share of the electorates from the elections is because of the DA. But in reality, the MK party has really taken a large number of the support from the ANC, especially there in the KZN. But we see the courts entertaining or more or less seeing these matters coming through from the MK party. What is your take on where we find ourselves in the lead up to Friday, if that sitting indeed sits?
Firstly, the election results, the DA I'm talking about, its class position. It represents capital. It's a proxy of international capital, the colonial forces that have created these conditions that we find ourselves in. The ANC and its policies and its allies throughout government have been trying to reverse the legacy of over 373 years of colonial oppression, imperialist oppression, as well as apartheid oppression in this country, for which the white minority had more interest and continue to enjoy those privileges. So this is the reason why we're undoing that. The funding of the parties that were contesting the ANC, including the funding of the DA itself. Go and look into that and see who's funding them, because now it's public knowledge. So they are the main reason where we are. So we are diametrically opposed with their interest, the DA. They are not having the interest of the people at heart. That's why the ANC must do away with the DA and constitute minority government as soon as it's possible.
Mr. Mapaila, thank you very much, sir, for your time. So we have about 500 or over 500 of those delegates that are here. You see them standing up behind me. They're going to be singing the national anthem, and this is where then they'll indicate, so it's an indication that the program is getting underway. But we see the SACP indeed, they're here. They'll be taken to the podium, Unati, to give a message of support. The ANC here as well. They have international guests that are here that will be reflecting in the coming 3 days, but most of them are just looking forward to the ministers that will be here. Already confirmations coming from the Minister of Public Enterprises, Public Works, and the Minister of Health as well. Some of them that will be here as we look at the 3 days of this policy conference of the National Union of Mineworkers.